Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today I'm doing the final video in my eyeshadow palette part of my inventory series. These, should I say, are palettes that are on the chopping block. So I want to do each of them, no pan left behind, once more, and just get my final thoughts and decide, am I keeping these or am I letting them go? Sorry to sound like a broken record, but in case you haven't been to one of my videos before, I will be moving in the new year. I need to downsize my collection considerably, so that is why these are going. Otherwise, they would be staying in my collection because they all have pros and cons to them, shall we say. So, let's get started. Let's start out with the smaller guys first. So, there'll be a few controversial ones in here, I have no doubt. First up, we have the Visart or Visiart, I never know really how to say it. This is the Paris Edit palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. And while we're here, I also have a Petite Pro 2. And that's what this one looks on the inside. Look, I love the eyeshadow pan size. I think that is glorious. Really, really glorious. However, I don't love the Visiart formula, blah, blah. Nah. It's not my favorite. What I might try and do, because these you can pop out, these are magnetic palettes, I might try and condense down into this small little 8 pan the shades that I like and enjoy and prefer, and then, you know, whatever's left over goes in here, and this is the one to declutter. I'm thinking that might be the way to go, but I want to give it one last go, use them all, see what I think, see. Am I keeping any of them? Maybe I'll let them both go. Who knows? I find it hard to let go of things like this because they're more expensive. But this was decluttered to me. This one was bought on an offer. So, you know, I didn't pay full whack for either of these. Next up is one of the little Essence palettes, and if you saw my small palette collection video, I love the Bronze This Way palette. Adore it, gorgeous, love it. Would love to have the Curl Me Maybe one. Really want that one. But this is the, I like to mauve it. I like to mauve it. I love the names of these little palettes. And this is what this one looks like on the inside. So very cool toned and a little bit blah, in my opinion. But I want to give it one last go before I let it go out of my collection. I have purples in my collection, more vivid, yeah, no, we're going to give it one more go, but I have a feeling this might be going. So that is that one. Do I even need to say it? You all know how I feel about this brand, Miss Charlotte Tilbury darling. This is the Vintage Vamp Luxury Palette. My hubby bought me this one Christmas, so I suppose I have a emotional attachment to it. This is not worth the price tag, in my humble opinion. Her eyeshadow formula is not worth the price tag. Her packaging is not worth the price tag. These are my opinions. But this colour story is quite a nice one on me. But I like to play around more nowadays. I like a more colourful kind of palette, if that makes sense. So we're going to give it one last hurrah and see what we think. Are we going to let it go? Let go of the emotional attachment. Another one that I'm considering keeping maybe is the Cream and Sugar palette from e.l.f. Bite Size. I mean, I said in my declutter video, some of the quality in these isn't great and some is good. This one is good. I like the quality of it. And I think it might be a handy one and done palette if you're going away for the weekend or something like that and you didn't want anything too fancy. But am I ever going to do that? I'm very much wear all the makeup or wear no makeup. It's one or the other. So if I'm going away for a weekend, am I going to rather bring something a bit more fun, a bit more oomph, a bit more zhuzh? I don't know. We're going to give it one last hurrah. And if I say that one more time, I'm going to punch myself in the head. This is another Juvia's. I'm saying another because I have another one coming up. So this is the Juvia's Place, the Violets. And this has the same issue for me as the Mauve palette. But I think maybe it has a bit more, yeah, it definitely has more oomph to it. So this is very cool toned and very, I suppose, nearly dusty kind of looking in comparison. She doesn't know what she's doing. I like this palette. I don't love it. So I need to, like I said, give it another go and see, can I make myself love it? Not make myself love it, but find a way to use it that I go, oh yeah, that's gorgeous. I have kept a Juvia's Place palette and I like the shimmers in that one. I find the matte formula struggle for me with Juvia's Place, and the shimmer, like, they're a bit chunky monkey. There's a lot to them, and sometimes that can translate poorly on my more mature eyelids. It kind of moves around a lot, or it shifts up kind of into the upper part of my lid. We should give it another play and see what happens. Another one that I bought this because Make Me Up Missa swears by this. This is the Beauty Bay Pastels palette. And what she loves it for is, if she's doing a colourful look, she always has colourful looks, they're superb. She loves this palette to blend out the deeper shades. So if she's doing a deep purple, she'll use the pink or the purple in this to kind of blend out the edges. If she's doing a deeper, darker kind of reddish orange, she'll use this. You know what I mean? She uses this palette a lot to buff out more colourful looks. And I bought it, and I had it in a Pando's eyeshadows. I had this yellow shade. It's a bit of a dip going in it, and it's very insipid, you know, not much. And I tried using it in the spring summer kind of as a palette on its own, and it's not how I should have been using it. I should have tried to use it in conjunction with something else to blend out a colour. So that's how I'm going to try and use it in this chopping block and see if I can't make it work for me and maybe keep it. Because I think if I can make it work, it'd be a fantastic companion palette, you know. So, sorry, I'm just wheezing. So yeah, that we give it another go. I have two Coloured Rain palettes. I have Coloured Rain by Power. So that was a TV show, and they did this in conjunction with them. This was Decluttered to Me, and it is quite a beautiful colour story. Do you know what? Let's see if we can bring it back here maybe. I think this went into my chopping block pile because I got a bit and look, there's a lot of purples here, so maybe that's, I got a bit burnt out in purples due to 50 Shades of Purple last year, and I put too many purple palettes in the project. Pick up a penguin. And I burnt myself out in purples, and it used to be one of my absolute favourite colours to use. So this is coming in. We're going to give it a whirl. I do find sometimes as well, certain reds, purples, plums, etc., whatever pigment, whether it's carmine or what, I'm not sure, it can adversely affect my eyes. They just weep even more so than usual, and they kind of burn a little bit. So we shall see. Also from Coloured Rain, since we're on that, I have the Cheers to the Beauty. Again, this was Decluttered to Me, so it didn't cost me anything, but it is a lovely colour story. Beautiful jewel tones, etc. But again, some of these are quite thick and kind of flaky kind of formula. So I don't know if it's one that I can... See, look, when you swatch them out like that, they look absolutely stunning. So it might be staying. I think as well, part of the wanting to get rid of it is the awkwardness of it. It's a very awkward palette to store. You know I have big palettes, but they're big in every way, if you know what I mean. Whereas this is just a long palette, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse to store. So I suppose that's kind of, you know, you can't help it if a little bit of that is... Anyway, Cornrowth, let's go. I have two BAH palettes that I'm considering decluttering. Excuse me, and I might get a little bit of backlash for this, but here goes. Here goes. Now, this first one, the main reason it's in here, I have so many greens in my collection already. So many greens in my collection already. Just keep that at the foremost of your mind. Oh, the avocado toast palette. I know. Everybody loves the avocado toast. This is what it looks like on the inside. I'll keep it back here, but see if we can downplay the shiny packaging. Not really. Hayley always gets it to work, and she holds it back here, so I'm trying to do something, tilting it a certain way. Probably doesn't help that there's lights on that side, Ruth. That way? Are we getting there? Look, you all know what it looks like. It's a beautiful palette, please don't get me wrong. And the greens in here, there's some sumptuous greens in here. There's some grungy, there's some kind of more emeraldy greens, a bit more bright. Yeah, look, it may not go, like, these aren't my declutter pile, these are chopping blocks for a reason, because I'm torn. So, we're going to give it another good go and see what we can do with it. And see if we can't find a way to keep it. But like I said, I have a lot of greens in my collection already, in formulas that I adore, and in similar shades to this. We shall see. I know, it's some people's absolute favourite palette in the whole fucking world. It is what it is, guys. And the other one is Smitten in Switzerland. Now this one should, you know, be right up my alley, because the colour story is completely me. Grungy greens. Maybe that's what it was. It was me and green became mean. But when I had it in No Pan Left Behind, earlier in the year, I think it was back in like February or something, I don't know, there was just something missing for me in it. I didn't feel like either the mattes or the shimmers really had the impact I was after. And I kind of feel like now when I'm trying to pare down so much, I need to kind of nearly love at least 75% of the palette. I don't expect to love every single shade in the palette. It's rare, you know, I think for all of us. But I need to be loving at least 75% of a palette. You know, and if I'm loving less than 50% of it, then I can't be keeping it. I just can't, guys. Not even regards to downsizing, but regards to getting use out of them in my collection. The last one then that is in this, and I've been so torn, and there's one person specifically whose fault it is that I am torn, and her name is Hayley, and I love her to bits. But this is Juvia's The Festival palette. That girl loves this palette so much that has made me not want to declutter it. But I want Hayley to be my friend forever. So I'm just like, she just loves it so much, and I want to love it. I want to love it too. So that is why this is staying. This is what it looks like. It's a tough one for me, and like there's a lot of mattes in this too, and I'm not the biggest fan of Juvia's matte formula. Yeah, we're going to give it another go, guys. We're going to give it another go, and we're going to try and see. We're going to go back and watch a couple of Hayley's videos where she uses this and try out the looks that she has created and see if we can try and create something as beautiful as what she created. If I can't, and look at it, she's a far superior makeup applier than I am. So, you know, there's that to take into account. I might just have to let it go. And plus, look at the size of the fucking pants. Juvia's Place. Where are we after, lads? Massive. Massive. Who's ever going to finish up one of them? Nobody. Except for maybe Hayley, because she loves the fucking palette. So that is it, guys. Those are my chopping block palettes. I'm sure there's some here that are absolute favourites, and you're absolutely outraged at the thoughts of let's not be dropping them, of me decluttering some of these, or even saying that I don't love some of these when they're your absolute ride or die favourite palettes. Let me know down below. Of these palettes, do you love them? Do you go, yeah, Ruth, I'm with you on that one, you can let that go? Can you give me any hints, tips, application hints and tips, colour combination hints and tips, all that kind of stuff? Anything that you can, information that you can give me to help me to find a way to love and use these palettes. And if you don't, and you say, Ruth, you're right, there is no saving that palette, let it go. Please tell me that too, because I kind of need that little push to let these go. Because I've kept too many. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Look it. If we have to, you know, tell my mom that she has to move into the garage. So Ruth's going to have a room for her makeup. So be it, guys. So be it. I'm sure she won't mind. I am joking. Just in case anyone out there's going, who is this horrific woman? If this is your first time here, hello, how are you? Not probably the best video for you to be coming to my channel, because I'm a little crazy today. This is my, what, 5th video today? All eyeshadow palette related, so there's a lot of joy in that too. If it is your first time here, please consider subscribing. I would be thrilled to feckin' bits. See, this is what's happened. I've got so tired now. I apologise profusely. I'd be thrilled to bits. Hopefully I'll chat to you in the next one, guys. I apologise profusely. If, you know, I understand if you never want to see me again. Chat to you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Slán.